a good one. To start it with, these two are synonymous, I would say, the characters that they both represent and are about to represent with the Silent Hill franchise. But they also have a ton of other really, really cool experience in doing this research that I'm excited to talk to them about. So please welcome Rhoslynne Bugay and Robert Strange, the Sinister Creature Con.
Boom.
Are we the right way around?
No. You guys switch your cards.
I am Robert.
You can.
I am. I can be anything.
Yeah.
There you go. It's the proper mindset right there.
Yes.
Which is a great positive attitude to have, because I saw on your social media like earlier this year that you had no idea how popular.
How did you find that? Oh, because I posted. Yes, I did. See, I have mommy brain. I forgot that I posted about that. Yes, I had no idea. Wait, you finished your sentence. Are you about to say what I think you're about to say?
No, I was just going to say, you had no idea like how popular that the nurses of the Silent Hill fandom were.
Yes, I had no idea whatsoever until this year. I'm just gonna. Can I just? Oh yeah, okay. Yes, my now friend Tony reached out to me on Instagram, and I'm glad that I looked at the message. I didn't answer for a while because I was like, "Who's this stranger?" But yeah, I had no idea how iconic our movie is and this whole thing. And I'm a dark nurse, and I'm like, you guys know what I did? That's cool. I don't know. Yeah.
But so Silent Hill is definitely a huge part for you guys, and I will definitely circle back. But in doing the research for the interview, I have found like all these super rad facts. I was telling Robert yesterday, my leg has the droids tattooed on it. So the fact that you have been in like, since the purchase, I've like almost every Star Wars like theatrical release, if not pretty close to it, as a different alien. That is awesome.
Yeah, I like since the purchase. That's great. That's kind of like BC or something. Yeah, I played, I think, about 15 creatures in all the movies since the purchase.
Yeah.
So the new trilogy and then the two kind of side movies. And a little bit in Galaxy's Edge. So if you fly the Millennium Falcon at Disneyland on Smuggler's Run, I'm Hondo Ohnaka on the screens telling you how to fly the ship, which is quite fun.
Gosh, that's so cool.
Which is really awesome because they're doing that. Since Galaxy's Edge opened, they're bringing more of those characters that we may, I thought we'd never see because they're cartoons, to the physical world.
Hondo has been notably absent so far from the TV shows, but maybe one day.
But at least we get to see, the practical effects makeup on you as you are doing the body work for Jim Cummings. These like classic Hondo voices.
Yeah.
Very cool. You also have ties to the mouse.
I do have ties to the mouse. Yes, I do.
Sounds ominous.
Yes.
I can tell you, being a theater kid, before I went to film school, I got a degree in theater. And one of those things that, as Disney, I'm a huge Disney mark, and you're just kind of waiting for them to rule the world at this point. But one of those things that you're like, dang, if anyone's going to do it big and do it well, it's Disney on Broadway. And Lion King, of course, freaking shatters all these records. And it is a really cool show. And you got to play Nala.
I did. I was so young. I was 21. It was like my first big thing. And I was actually, I was going to be the lead Nala, and then the woman decided to stay. And then on Boxing Day, I found out that I got cast as a swing understudy. Do you guys know what a swing does in theater? So they basically understudy multiple roles, not just a lead role, I don't mean to diminish anything. But I covered 10 different women and Nala. And I went on all the time, like every day. And sometimes it would be like, for 2 weeks, you're going to be Bateau. And for 2 weeks, you're going to be Nala. Or today, we want you to be Futi and Sasa, but split the track. And for this number, you're someone else. Like, my brain was kind of...
Dang.
Yeah, it was a big responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that, just curious, that block, was there like a particular reason why you would be Nala for like 2 weeks and then switch, or
It would be like vacation time, or the person I was covering had a lot of knee injuries because the stage is raked. It's steel. You know, you're landing on your feet at different angles. Like it's not the healthiest thing for your body all the time, 8 shows a week. So she had been doing it for 3 years, which is why she was going to leave and I was going to step in, but she decided to stay, which is also a smart move. But she was tired, so sometimes I'd find out the day of or the day before, or I do the second show of the day, because sometimes there'd be 2 shows a day.
that's wild to find out the day of. That's
Yes.
crazy.
Yes.
Okay, so I can tell you, PS1, Silent Hill. This game, unlike, maybe Resident Evil touches a little, but I remember having like the biggest anxiety as a teenager because Silent Hill gameplay, you only could see with the flashlight. And it was like you were navigating and you're moving the flashlight. Universal did a haunted house based on Silent Hill, and for the first few rooms of it, actually, they had a mini spot and it was moving, tracking like you're holding the flashlight.
Right.
And that's just to symbolize how iconic that was in the game, right? But Silent Hill is such a physical character base, like all the characters are so physical. When you got cast as Dark Nurse, like, I have to imagine your theater background played a huge part.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, Christopher at the dance call gave us a couple words to think about, played a moody song, and then just kind of said, go, like, just what's your interpretation of this? There were like 100 of us, and I don't know what the other girls were doing. I was just embodying whatever made sense to me, right? And then when we all got cast, it was really collaborative in that way too.
Yeah, you guys move, in the scenes, like, that's what makes them scary, is they're so mannequin-esque at first.
Yeah.
And then when you guys wake up, it's kind of in unison,
Yeah.
like clockwork, very
Yeah.
sharp movements, very, rigid, all that stuff. What was it like on set when you guys are in, the full makeup? And Silent Hill's environment is so creepy to begin with. What was all that like being in character?
I felt like they did such a great job creating the world that stepping on set, like, I feel like you can do a lot of character work before, but once I get into wardrobe and makeup, I feel like that's when it all kind of pulls together energetically, and then you step into the space and it's like, whoa, it's really creepy. And I'm the creepy person. So yeah, it was just, there were a lot of rehearsals to get us in unison for certain beats, but a lot of it was individual things that they were like, oh, I like what you're doing here, I like what you're doing there, stay in your spot. So also very collaborative, but also very rehearsed. Yeah.
I like how you use the term character acting, because Robert, you are a tremendous character actor, man. I'm jealous of, if you guys haven't followed his career as closely as some, he mentioned Lucasfilm's work, but he's also been in Doctor Who since the purchase. So on the new revamped on Disney Plus, Robert is on that. He's been in the Lord of the Rings series on Amazon. He was on Penny Dreadful. Like, you have been a ton of different characters. What is it for you that you like to bring to each role? Like a stuntman who's playing Jason would, when we've had them here, it's like the physicality and what they're going to put on it. So with you, is it like mental and physical? Is it purely physical, purely mental? What is your mix when you approach a role?
I think what drew me to doing this work is partly the fact that I never planned for it or saw it coming, to be honest. When I went to university, I went to college. Someone's having a good time.
It's very Silent Hill out there.
That scream, that's a great scream.
I went to college, as you call it here, and I studied biochemistry. So that was kind of my path for a bit, but then I always wanted to be an actor. And then when I went to drama school, I really wanted to do Shakespeare and theatre as well. And I have done some theatre over the years. And then via Penny Dreadful, I kind of fell into the world of creature performing. And I just fell in love with it straight away. I just loved the transformation of it. And I think it, us Brits are famed for being maybe quite kind of held and a little bit friendly, but maybe a little bit frosty sometimes. And so I think the creatures allow me to like release something physically that I didn't know I needed to, I suppose. So that's what I love about it. My favorite performances to watch in any actors are the ones that are really transformative. Forget, kind of like Gary Oldman is a really good one for this, because you just kind of forget. You see a film and you forget that that's him because he's played all these different characters. And so creatures are like the extreme version of that. You know, you are literally physically transforming and unrecognizable. So to be able to match in your performance, whether it be vocally or physically, what the amazing makeup artists have made you look like, I love that challenge and like trying to bridge that gap and also do their work justice. That's one thing I've said over and over again is it's such a long line of creatives to get to the point of a creature. So there's someone who's drawn it and someone who's sculpted it and run the pieces and painted it and put it on you and stuck it on and kept it looking good, et cetera, et cetera. And then finally, you're the end point of that long process. And I love then you step in front of the camera, everything stops and you have to like bring it to life and do all those people's work justice, which is kind of scary, but I love that challenge as well. It feels very collaborative, as you've said, even if it's just you in front of the camera.
If you being UK based, I'm jealous that because the two biggest sci-fi fandoms of my life have been Doctor Who and Star Wars, and so I imagine was the majority of the work that you did in UK. Were you filming in the UK for Star Wars?
Yeah, both of those were filmed in filmed in the UK. Star Wars was in Pinewood, and Doctor Who's all filmed in Wales, where it's always been filmed, which is where I'm from, actually. I was born in Wales, so it's quite nice to go back.
What is that experience like for you? Like growing up, were you a Star Wars fan, and then you grow up into an actor, and then you're like, damn, I'm filming in Pinewood Studios. Yeah. I can't really explain how mad it is when I look back and think. So I was, I think, 9 or 10 when they re-released the originals and then released the prequels, and I was just completely, everything was Star Wars. I was just completely obsessed. I had this T-shirt which I was given, which was an adult T-shirt. I should dig out the photo because it came down to like beyond my knees, and it's got the original 70s logo. You know, the one where like Luke's holding the lightsaber like this, and Leia's like got her leg out, and it's just this iconic like image. And I've got this T-shirt, and I still have it, and now it just fits me like a normal T-shirt, but that's how I was just so into it. So, and then what's fun as well is a few years ago, I remember this, when I moved to London to be an actor, is when the same week, it's when they announced they were going to make a new trilogy of films and film it in London. And so I just moved to London to try and be an actor. I had no money, I had no work yet. And I set myself this goal. I said, I'm going to find a way to be involved in Star Wars one day. And then obviously I completely forgot about it. Many years went by. And then a few years later, I'd been doing a few years of the Star Wars creature work. And I suddenly remembered this like goal, this dream I'd conjured for myself. And I don't know, I almost had to like sit and process it, because it's just funny how this happens in so many ways in life. You have these ideas or dreams, and it never quite works out exactly as you plan, but it's still happened, if you know what I mean. I would never have predicted or set for myself that goal to be creatures in Star Wars, just because I didn't know that kind of job existed. And then years later, I realized not only had that dream had come true, I suppose, but it had been in 5 films playing 15 different aliens. So yeah, I could never have imagined it, really. It's pretty special. Yeah, definitely.
15?
15.
Wow.
I think I need to count them up, but a few.
You have also.
Sorry, actually, what's quite fun is I say 15, but in the big festival sequence in The Rise of Skywalker, where there's the Aki-Aki and there's
the sweets and treats, as C-3PO would say.
Exactly. Well, I actually did the mocap for that scene. So there was like a few hundred performers who were real, but then the thousands and thousands in the background, 1 in every 4 of those is me as well.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Because there were 4 of us that did the mocap, and we just spent a whole day dancing and walking around, and then they just replicated us. So the thousands that you see in the background of me. So a few thousand creatures.
I was about to say,
is how many.
Just a few thousand.
You're the only guy who can say that you've been 4,000 Star Wars.
Yeah. 1 in 4 on your screen right now.
you have gotten to do acting on film and TV without the makeup and actually
Yes.
get to show everybody
Yeah.
what you can do, so to speak.
Yes.
What do you think the difference is to like how you would prepare for like a traditional acting gig versus how you prepared for Dark Nurse, like the different aspects of that?
Oh, okay. Well, if I think back to when I was Dark Nurse, I'm trying to think of how I prepared for that. I mean, I feel like a lot of it was in rehearsal and discovering stuff together. I didn't know there was a game. I didn't know anything. I was really young, and I was like, "Yay! I got my union card through this movie," and I had no concept of anything. So I was just like present, which is also good. That's essential for this line of work that we do. But I would say my process is not so calculated. I mean, I like to read the thing. I feel like when I read something, the first impression or the thing that comes out of me is the closest to how I might exist in the world. But then I like to play, and then I don't want to marry myself to anything because I want to be present when I'm filming. So I don't think it's any different whether it's comedy or drama or whatever genre. I feel like that, I guess, is my process, but it's not like I need to write the beats and things like that, you know? I do a lot of research. That's about it, I think. Yeah. Sometimes I listen to a song if it helps, like, awaken an energy or an emotion or a feeling that I feel is like the tone of the thing I'm about to do. So I just kind of feel like I have a lot of tools to use when I need to.
Have you delved into the fandom since being in Silent Hill at all? Like,
What
do you
does that mean?
try to like play the
Oh,
game or?
No,
Oh.
me and horror and my nervous system don't go well together. Yeah, like Halloween, I like the cutesy, sexy, but not the scary. Like I get too scared,
Oh.
so I'm a scaredy cat.
I think we need to get you on like Twitch playing it or something.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I think that would be really funny.
I don't even know what Twitch is. What's a Twitch?
We'll work on it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, you're playing the game and then recording your reaction at the same.
Oh, that's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you guys, as you answered, in your answer there, you answered my next question was, did you go to that haunted house that Universal did? But I would say a resounding no.
No.
Yeah.
No, I mean, if my kids wanted to, like, I've gone through haunted houses because of my kids, but it's because I'm following them in there because I think that they're gonna die. You know? I know they're not, but yeah.
How have they responded, and Robert, you too, by playing such iconic characters? What has been the reaction, friends and family and everything, to know that you represent these characters that the fandoms love so much?
It's not quite the answer to that question, but something that's quite fun is I have a nephew who's 6, and we've shown him. I think he's just starting to grasp like what I do and what acting is, but it's obviously quite tough for him because I don't look like me in these characters. So we show him pictures of things, and he's just kind of like, oh, okay. But I've also called him from set sometimes in full makeup.
Oh my
So when I'm
God.
in like full orc prosthetics on Lord of the Rings, I've called my sister on a video call and said like, do you think he'll freak out? And she's like, no, I think it'll be fine. And we hand the phone over, and he's just, you can see he can hear my voice and he can kind of recognize my movement, but he's a little like, but then he just goes back to like, watching TV or whatever he's doing. Yeah, I think my family are just quite bemused by the career path I've taken. Neither of my parents are. They're creative, but they're a nurse and a doctor, so very different worlds. I think they've just been intrigued to follow it all. I think my mum gets very, very emotional, and in the best way out of like pride and support to see me doing these things. And she watches everything, and she's adamant that she can recognize me, whoever I'm playing. She's always like, I knew it was you. I knew which one was you. Whatever I look like, which is quite sweet.
That's her baby.
Yeah, they're just wonderfully supportive, and yeah, quite bemused by it all. How about yours? Do your kids know about Darkness?
They do. They're too scared to watch it. They're scared like me. But, you know, like they you know, like they watch what they watch and they understand that these characters can be famous or whatever. So when this dropped into my life and I realized the impact the film made or my character made, they think it's really cool. Like I did talk to them this morning about a gentleman coming yesterday for my signature to tattoo on his dark nurse tattoo. And they were like, what? That's so cool. I'm like, it is. My name's gonna be on that guy's arm, you know? I don't know, I just think they are also storytellers. So I know they only understand, they're 12, 9, and 7, so different perspectives, but they think it's cool that mommy does what she does, yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any favorite like souvenir from any of the work that you've done that you have mistakenly kept?
Not that I should probably admit to, but yes, I've tried. I wish I'd done it for the whole 10 years, but I've tried more recently to keep a little piece of all my creatures. So I have an orc ear. I've got a finger from something actually that nobody knows about yet. So that'll come out sometime next year. I've got some like goo from the Boogeyman with the boogers that were like hanging all off me. I like kept a string of slime basically. So yeah, I've got all these like little bits and pieces. I think I kept what do you call it, like a casino chip from The Last Jedi.
That's cool.
That was terrifying because they were like, every prop is microchipped on this set. Whoa. So if anyone, because there were thousands of people, so they were like, nobody can take anything. But I was like, surely they're not going to microchip a chip. So I snuck it out. I probably shouldn't admit to that. Yeah, those are my little keepsakes. One day I'll make a kind of... I've actually got the Roth Warrior from Doctor Who. I've got the face. I've kept the whole face.
Oh,
which is it's made from... silicon will last a long time because it's rubber. Foam latex will slowly dry out and crumble. So it'll have a time limit on it. But I should frame it and make a little mini display in my home someday.
Absolutely. Do anybody else, or does anybody else, have a question for these two? Yeah, right here in the front.
I have two for Robert. First, is there any information on a release date for the upcoming Silent Hill movie? And second, can you talk a little bit about your experience with Red Dwarf?
I can, yeah. Red Dwarf. Not many people bring that up. That's fun. Silent Hill. I wish I could tell you, but no. It's still all under wraps. So sometime in the first half of next year that's just my personal guess, but it will be out sometime next year, which is very exciting. It's kind of amazing, isn't it, that it's like 20 years between the first film and the second film, but still the same director and a lot of the same team, and Christoph was brilliant and has such passion for this world, and I think has been waiting for the right time to be able to tell it with the to do justice to it in the way that he wanted to, which is why it's taken its time, I think. But yeah, I think it's going to look pretty fab. It's a slightly new design of Pyramid Head. There's that one image that's out, but I think there's more bits and pieces that you haven't seen that will hopefully surprise and excite people, because it's a beloved story from the game and the re-release game that's just come out, but it's also a new take on it as well. So there's some hopefully exciting things in there for people. Red Dwarf is fun. Yeah, I played a role called the Gelf Chief in Red Dwarf. I don't know how familiar people are with Red Dwarf. It's a very British sci-fi long-running TV series, kind of in the vein of Doctor Who. It's that kind of comedy sci-fi. And yeah, I played the Gelf Chief, which is this big furry monster in one of the newer seasons that they did, probably like 10 years ago now. that was quite a fun one to film because we filmed it like a sitcom style, which I'd never done. So we had a live audience, but we're filming it. So it was kind of filmed in order and live so it's not a laugh track, it's like a real, well, hopefully they were really laughing anyway. I don't know, maybe there were big things saying laugh now, please. But that was fun. And the suit wasn't actually built for me because it was quite a quick process. They filmed so much very fast. So I had this werewolf suit that they'd used for something else that didn't actually do up down the back. So I just had to keep my arms kind of like this and not move too much or turn around because it wasn't done up at the back. But yeah, glad you brought that up.
Just real quick, the design of your pyramid head, you were talking about the subtle touches. I love like that braided kind of like thing going on in the middle. That's pretty cool looking. Man.
Yeah, it's great. It's almost like kind of nails that have been like hammered through it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool. It's a different mask.
Yeah, right here.
I'm a Red Dwarf fan.
Oh, fab.
I wanted to ask if you got to meet Cat and what he was like.
Yeah, I met all the guys. I was there on set with them, and I did like a table read and a quick rehearsal, and then so my little scene, it's called Crisis, the episode I was in. I'm like on a screen that pop while they're in their ship, so it pops up on the thing. So I wasn't like on the same set as them, but I actually, the way they film it, I was literally just, if they were there, I was there on my own little set. So yeah, I met them, spent the day with them. I think I did all my stuff in just one day because obviously it's with a live audience, so they have to do it then and there. They were wonderful. They were great fun. I've seen a few of them again. Kat, especially, I think at various Comic Cons over the years. Haven't seen them for a while, but yeah, they were. I mean, you can see from the fun they have. The four of those guys have been doing it for I don't know how many years. They kind of Red Dwarf had a run and then a big pause, and then they came back for 2 more seasons, and they just have such good chemistry. Those gents. So they were a lot of fun. Thank you.
Yeah, you had a bracelet tied around your wrist over there? Yep. That's a good question.
Oh my gosh, changed me as a person. I feel like I just did a film. It's already, I mean, it went to TIFF, it went to South by Southwest. It's called Fitting In. It's based on Molly McGlynn's real story as a teenager, going through a female disorder and her discovery of that, and being part of someone's real life story and being directed by her and working with her. And it's such the intimacy and the vulnerability of her story and being part of it, I feel was impactful for me. I don't think it's just because it was a female thing. I think it was that it was something so close to her, and to work so closely with her and to be the role that in her real life kind of like saved her in a way. Like I got to be the doctor who heard her versus dismissing all these different things. Maybe it's like tied to my personal life. I'm like, oh yeah, I know I have that doctor too who listened to me. So yeah, just something like that was just really nice to be part of. Yeah.
I suppose I would maybe say, in terms of the way it like took my life, the first creature role I did was in Penny Dreadful, the vampire in that, and just because it was basically the first job I did. It was definitely the first filming thing I'd done, and the first creature role I'd done, and it was 6 hours of makeup, and I shaved my head for it. They told me I needed to shave my head. I didn't need to shave my head, but I did. And it just like set me on this path that's literally led to right here today. So I suppose it really has shaped me as a person in that sense. Yeah, good question.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? Christian, go ahead, man.
Uh-oh. Oh, wow. How fab. Yeah. So Jim Cummings is the voice of, he's actually the voice of Winnie the Pooh, and he's the voice of hundreds of iconic
guys,
characters, one of whom is Hondo Nakit in the Clone Wars animated series. And so at Disneyland, when you fly the Millennium Falcon, Hondo appears on the screen, but rather than being animated, they did a prosthetics real-life version, who I played. But Jim had recorded all the dialogue, so that was actually a really mad job, because it was like hours of audio that Jim had recorded of all the possible dialogue. Because it's a ride, there's lots of different things, and even when the ride goes wrong, there's Hondo on the screen telling you, like, wait there and don't move, and we'll fix this. So I had to learn all of Jim's audio by heart and lip sync to it. So all the like breaths and laughs and stuff, I had to like do it over and over again until I could make it look like I was saying it, which oh wow. Was he always good at voices and things then? Yeah, wow, there you go. Mm-hmm. Mm. Fab. Mm. Mm. Great. Mm. Fab. Mm. He's a very talented man. Mm. Great.
The work you did as Hondo for that ride too. My wife, for my 40th, we went on vacation to the Galactic Star Cruiser.
Mm. Oh, amazing.
I don't know if they just took B-roll from when they brought you in originally, but Hondo does different stuff because they give you a band from the cruiser. So the RFID, again, Disney's going to control the world one day. They already kind of do. But the RFID on the band, Hondo did different stuff if you were staying at the hotel.
Wow.
So it's
I should
like
have got a free visit.
you like got into you got onto the Falcon and it was like, oh, someone from that Star Cruiser.
Ah,
Like,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Anybody else have a question for these two before we got to call it a day? Did you have one more question, Chris?
Mm-hmm. So the rights for the TV show, The Rings of Power, are actually not for the Silmarillion. They're for the... Is it like a screaming competition? Because that girl should win. If so. They got the rights from the appendices of The Lord of the Rings. That's where they're taking the story from, of the Second Age. Yeah, that's what they're using. Mm. Oh, fab. Yeah. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah.
We will definitely be watching for your return, well, I should say your introduction to Silent Hill. Who knows? Maybe one day your return to it.
Oh my gosh.
Return
yes.
to Silent Hill.
Return to return. Dark Nurse is back. I mean, she's obviously they're all in, they're all in that movie. Yeah.
But if that day ever shows up, we have a catalog of stuff to enjoy both of your guys' work. We thank you so much for coming. We hope that you come back. And until then, everybody give it up for it.
Thank you.
Thank all of you for coming today. Thank you.
Make sure you spend some time, go out there, talk to them at their tables. You guys are going to be there most of today, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. We'll be here this afternoon. Then.
Absolutely. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.